Alright, well, I'm back. It's time to make another video. I'm actually going to make quite a few videos if things go well. But I wanted to talk about the future of my channel, and I wanted to talk about wearing masks. Now, right now, I'm in my truck. So I don't really need to wear a mask, but I wanted to start with it on to make the point. And what is the point? Most people don't work in the health field that are wearing masks when they go outside. But we've been asked to socially distance. And if you're not in a position where you can socially distance, we've been asked to wear a mask. Now, some people are really upset with that. They don't think it's right. Some people are really upset with the lockdowns. And I can understand the frustration. I can. And in some respects with the lockdowns, there is some legitimate points on whether they've gone too far. But for the most part, the lockdowns are not unconstitutional. It's actually written into the Constitution. They can be done the way they have been done. In fact, very shortly after the country was founded, there was a lockdown for yellow fever. George Washington was president at the time. He promoted it. So anybody that thinks it's unconstitutional, I don't know what they're basing that on. They don't really understand history, or they don't understand what the Constitution says, or something, because it's not unconstitutional to try to protect people. Now, it is a good thing to question if the government is going too far. That's always a good thing. That's actually what we should do as citizens. But it doesn't mean that just because something is asked of you that you may not personally like, that it's unconstitutional. So, back to masks. Why are we being asked to wear masks? Well, for almost 6 months now, we've been dealing with a crisis that started as an outbreak, turned into an epidemic, and then became a pandemic. Now, you can believe it or not, but it's a worldwide event. It's going on. And I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories. But let's just go with the fact that COVID-19 is real. Let's go with the fact that the pandemic actually exists. And if you don't believe it, that's fine, whatever you want to think. But because there is a pandemic, we listen to our health experts. We look at history. We try to decide the best way to do things. Now, in 6 months, the entire country still hasn't learned how to wash its hands. We're like little kids. We don't even know what we're doing. But we're angry that we're being told how to best deal with an illness. Now, I don't think that the government should take care of us. As citizens, we need to be responsible, and we need to, for the most part, try to take care of ourselves. But the government is there to assist. And the government is there to do its best to help its citizens. That's what the government is for. So, they're asking us, now that we're reopening especially, and I'm talking about the United States, because that's where I live, they're asking us to socially distance. And I see people everywhere. They don't even care about 3 feet, let alone 6. And I see people that refuse to wear masks while they're right next to other people. So they don't care about socially distancing. They don't care about wearing a mask. They don't know how to wash their hands, even though they have 6 months of people trying to explain it to them. But they're going to be mad. Oh, I'm mad. I don't want to be told what to do. I have freedoms and rights. Well, with every freedom you have, with every right you have, you also have a responsibility. Because you're not the only citizen in the country. There are other people in this country that matter as much as you do. And the second you forget that, then you should lose your rights. You have a responsibility to care about every other citizen as much as you care about yourself. That's part of being a free country. So when we're supposed to wear masks, because we are not healthcare professionals, chances are pretty good most of us, me included, I'm not excluding myself here, don't really know how to wear a mask properly. We touch our face when we shouldn't. We adjust the mask when we shouldn't. We take it down when we shouldn't. We reuse it when we shouldn't. We do all kinds of things that we shouldn't do because we don't know how to effectively use a mask. But we're also not in a healthcare setting. We're not in a hospital. So what's the point? With all that being said, what's the point? Well, here's the point. We're supposed to socially distance. We want to keep 6 feet between us and other people. But if we can't, if we don't, if we're in a situation where that doesn't happen, then wearing a mask will help. How will it help? Is it going to keep us from getting sick? Probably not. Probably not, because the way the average citizen wears a mask isn't going to prevent them from catching the virus. But what will it do? What is the point? The point is, if you're sick and you don't know it, and you cough or you sneeze, if you have a mask on, even if you have it on wrong, it's going to help prevent any of that virus, any of that airborne potential virus from spreading. It's going to keep it contained in a smaller area closer to you. And the less the virus spreads, the less you have droplets in the air of saliva or blood or whatever the case may be. Mostly it's saliva or mucus or whatever. Saliva is the typical thing, as I understand it, that can have viruses in it. Once you limit how much distance that can go because you're wearing a mask, then you are helping protect other people. And you can be sick, you can be a carrier and not even know it. That's why you wear a mask. You don't wear a mask because you're doing it right. You don't wear a mask because it's going to protect you. You wear a mask because it might protect someone else. And as a citizen of this country, you're supposed to care about other people. The whole point of being a country is that we're unified and we're together. And we're supposed to be in this together. This is supposed to be something where we all come together. When you have a situation that is negative, people are supposed to come together. And a lot of them are. And that's nice. But I see way too many people that are not. So, for everybody that's really angry about this stuff, just stop. It's not about you. You want to make it about you. But it's so much more. You want to be angry about the lockdowns? Fine. You want to protest? Hey, that's fine. I support everybody's right to protest. Just don't look like an idiot when you're doing it. If you look like an idiot to someone else, then your message is immediately countered. You lost every point you're trying to make. If the only people that you impress are the people that already think like you, you've lost the benefit of your protest. The point of protesting is to get people that may not have your mindset already to understand what you're saying. And if someone is looking at you and going, wow, you're an idiot, they're not even listening to your message. Protest in a way that makes sense. Protest in a way that other people will actually consider your message. But I'm going off topic. Wearing a mask. I don't particularly like to wear a mask, but I do it. I do it because it's been recommended by people that are smarter than me, that are trained in the medical field, that deal with viruses and epidemics and outbreaks and pandemics. And they know what they're talking about. And yeah, I can listen to various people quoting scientific studies that say the exact opposite. But I'm going to go with the consensus. Because when science is new, and this virus is new, then you go with the consensus. And the consensus says social distance, wear a mask, consider other people's well-being. Please. That's what science is saying. That's not a bad thing. Let's just be considerate of each other. Let's try to come together and work together. So, how does this affect my channel? Well, originally my channel started because I was playing an online game, mobile game. I tried to help people. I tried to put up tips and ideas and advice and thoughts about how to play the game and how to get the most benefit out of playing the game and what to do to be most effective in the game. And a lot of people appreciated that. And maybe my advice always wasn't right. But I put out what I thought made sense. And I put out what I thought I knew. And for the most part, it was accurate. I said a few things that may not have been 100%. But for the most part, it was accurate. I had played the game long enough. I had a pretty good idea what I was talking about. But I don't play that game anymore. And I moved on to other games because I have to do something in my spare time, and playing on my phone is the one thing that I do. But what I've found is, as much as I enjoy games, for whatever reason, I'm not a person that likes to reach end game content. So whether it was World of Warcraft, or whether it was SimCity Build It, or Marvel Contest of Champions, or Call of War 1942, once I got to the point where it was really competitive just to be in the top, and people were spending a lot of money to stay there, or people were cheating, because that's the way it usually goes. In order to stay in the top on these particular games, you have to spend a lot of money, or you have to cheat. I didn't want to do either. And I just didn't have the time, on a personal level, to practice enough to be as good as those other people, because I just didn't really care. I play the game for personal enjoyment, not for competition. So my channel is no longer going to be about games, or at least until I find a different one that I really like. But for right now, it's definitely gravitated away from games. So my channel is about me voicing my opinions, or me talking about myself, or my life, or things that I see or think or want to do. And I don't know if anybody even cares about that. I don't know if anybody listens and likes it. I don't really have a whole lot of commentary on most of my opinion videos. But that's where it's going. And if anybody has anything particular they want me to talk about or do or say or think, feel free. Send me a message down below. Let me know what you want. Let me know what you think. All I've ever asked is if you're going to be negative, which is fine. Criticism can be positive or negative. If you think I've said something or done something that you don't like or that's wrong, feel free. Tell me. Let me know. I have no problem with that. Just do it in a constructive way. Don't say, hey, you're an idiot, and leave it at that. Say, hey, you're wrong about this. Here's why. Here's what's right. That's beneficial to anybody reading, and it's beneficial to me. We may disagree. I may think that you're wrong too, and that's fine. We may come to an agreement to disagree. I'm not looking to argue with everybody, but I do have a tendency when people are not constructive in their negative criticism to be negative back. You're going to come in and just post a comment and say, hey, you're an idiot, you're wrong. I'm going to say, well, yeah, you're an idiot too. So here we are. We're both idiots. What are we going to do now? Or something like that, whatever the case may be. But I've thought about different things that I'm going to do in my channel here. And one of the things that I want to talk about is definitely current events that are going on. Share my opinion on them, like wearing masks. One of the things that I want to do is humor. I think just ridiculous, silly dad humor or juvenile, obnoxious, sexually based humor is just hilarious. So there may be some joke videos. Try to keep it clean usually. But there's also something that I want to do that I'm, for lack of a better term, going to call a bucket list. Bucket list videos. Things that I want to do in life that maybe I can do in a video. And one thing that comes to mind, I've always wanted to sing. Now, if anybody has ever heard me sing, I probably sound more like, I don't know, somebody being stampeded by a herd of rabid porcupines than somebody that you really want to hear sing. I'm not sure what I sound like, but it's probably not good. But if I don't sing in English, I think that I sound okay. So I thought maybe I would do that. I would sing, just not in English. Why? Does anybody care? Probably not. It's more for me. It's just something I want to do. But maybe somebody will watch it and just think it's interesting. So this channel is never going to become something where I try to make money. I'm never going to ask people for Patreon support or donations. I'm never going to intentionally put ads in. I don't know if YouTube put ads in on their own at the beginning or the end of a video, but I'm never going to get a sponsor. If somehow I became hugely popular, I might make an entirely different channel where I did that, but not here. This channel is just for me to do things that I want to do, and if somebody watches it and they like it, great. That is perfect. If somebody watches it and they don't like it, I hope you can find something else that you enjoy, because at the end of the day, we all just want to get along, and we all just want to make it through the day and be happy, no matter what we do or how we do it. So yeah, that's this video. Way longer than it should be probably, but that's a staple of my videos. So I hope everybody has a good day, and thanks for watching.